how has Europe responded? It's not been, it's not ignored the problem altogether. The numbers have dropped year on year since 2015. 185,000 people arrived to Germany in 2018, which is still over 15,000 a month, but is obviously less than the almost 1 million that arrived in 2015. When you look at the causes behind the drop, the EU has tripled funding for border management and migration issues, but I tend to think the more pertinent reason is that in March 2016, the EU signed an agreement with Turkey in which Erdogan was promised 6 billion euros in financial aid to be used by the Turkish government specifically to finance projects for Syrian refugees. Let's be honest about what it was. It was essentially a bribe from the European Union to try and keep Syria's problems in Turkey rather than more in Europe than they already were. The issue of that, of course, with that is that Europe is essentially being held hostage to the whims of Turkish politics. Last month, Erdogan threatened to send every refugee being held in Turkey to Europe because there was criticism from Europe about Turkey's military incursion into Syria. Don't expect that to be the last time such a threat is made by Erdogan. So another option for Europe is the potential deportation of those who have no legal right to be in the country. Germany's had significant problems in this. One of the reasons with Germany is that deportation is not a task for the federal government, but one that falls to the individual states. So authorities in the south, in states such as Bavaria, tend to be a bit more conservative. They've taken a little bit of a tougher approach. In the more liberal north, in Berlin, for example, authorities have been more reluctant to pursue deportations. There's some judges who've been unwilling to approve things like bone x-rays, for example, in order to ascertain an asylum applicant's age, saying that it's discriminatory. And these blockades to deportation mean that as a result, Germany has actually begun to pay asylum seekers to leave. It's offering funds as high as 3,000 euros in an attempt to lower the numbers overall.